we're going to look at Scarecrow prep, which is going to encourage your shoulders to move a little bit and give you a little bit of extension in your thoracic spine. So come down to lying on your mat for me. And all you're going to do is just allow your nose to hover off the floor. And we're going to take your elbows slightly lower than your shoulders into a bit of a W position, so you'll look a little bit like a goalpost. And I want you to have the top of your nose, so the round bit on the front, to just be facing that mat, but hovering a couple of millimeters off the floor. From here, make sure your hands are actually on the floor or on your mat so that you can really have the same height and your fingers can spread. And we're going to send those legs out long behind us. So press that pubic bone into the floor, keep reaching those feet away from you, and you'll start to feel a little bit of activity in the back of your legs. From here, we're just going to start doing a little bit of rotation in the shoulder. So with one hand, you're going to press that elbow into the floor. So press it down into the floor. Because that's so heavy, the forearm and the hand will start to float up. And then just let that press slowly reduce, let the hand come back to the floor. We're going to do the other side. So press your elbow into the floor. Feel that the upper arm starts to turn and allow the forearm and wrist to just lift off the floor. And then send it back down again. So just do a couple of those for me. So feel that pressure build up. Feel the fact that your hand, your forearm can get a little bit light. Notice if your body feels like it's rotating a little bit. You're only doing one side, so that's okay. And on this next one, you're going to press both elbows into the floor. So both elbows are going into the floor so much that the arms can start to come up, and you'll feel a little bit limited here. And then let them come back down again. So on your next one, as you press the elbows into the floor, you're going to let the hands start to lift, and you're going to allow your breastbone to lift as well. Think almost a little bit prone press-like, with the elbows pressing rather than the hands. And then as the hands come back to the floor, so does the body. So we've got this inhale, press into the floor. With those elbows, everything starts to float up and the body just starts to lift. And then exhale to come back down again. So we'll do a couple more of those. And I want you to almost imagine that as the arm is rotating outwards, the collarbones are rolling back. That's what's helping you lift. And then the hands just roll forward. The shoulders and collarbones roll forward too. We'll do one more of those. So press those elbows, find that external rotation, and just let yourself come back to the floor. Keep that nose hovering for me, and we're going to encourage a little bit more rotation. So press one hand into the floor. Really spread those fingers, press the fingers as well, and you'll feel the elbows start to lift off and up towards the ceiling. This is a much bigger movement than the other direction. And then just let the press go, let the elbow come back towards the floor, and we're going to do the other side. So again, press the hand, but press the fingers as well. So we've got a little bit of a dome in that palm as the elbow starts to come up, and then bring it back down again. We're going to do a couple more. So as the elbow starts to come up because of the press, feel the shoulder roll forward in that socket, and then just let it settle back to the floor. So we want to be active in our hands. We're not scrunching up your fingers, but you're pressing those fingertips, the flats of those fingers, almost where you'd put your thumbprint, into the floor. This time, as one hand presses into the floor for the elbow to lift, let the other elbow press into the floor for the forearm to lift. You're going to get a little bit of rotation around that upper thoracic. Let the press reduce, and then do the other side. So press into one elbow, press into one hand, and allow that rotation to happen. So my question is are you able to do this? And if you keep going, are you able to do this without your nose coming away from the floor? So you've still got that little bit of a nose hover. We're still pressing our pubic bone into the floor. We're still reaching those legs away. So we've got support from the rest of us. We'll be building up a little bit of endurance in the back of your body here and in the back of your neck. So we'll do one more here. We're going to make that each side so we can just nicely level ourselves up. And then bring everything down to the floor. Let your head come. You can just let it turn, give yourself a little bit of a shake. And then if you want to, you can press up into a child's pose. Take a rest there. And well done.